In graduate school, I met my girlfriend, Nadia. Not real name. The best way to describe her was she was the sweet, innocent Indian girl to everyone, but she had a really side that she hid from her parents. And her Indian social circle, when we started dating, she'd tell me that her parents expected her to get married soon, that she could get married to a cardiologist lawyer, ETA. She'd talk about how she wouldn't have to work a day in her life. I don't know if she was trying to make me jealous, but I didn't give a funny thing about the whole matter is that these guys usually expected a chaste girl, which Nadia was the furthest from when we started dating. She told me it was just going to be a fling. But over time, I started developing serious feelings for her. I told her, and it turns out she felt the same. I wasn't a doctor, but I had a good career ahead of myself. I wanted to have a serious relationship and maybe one day marry her. That's stupid. You're stupid. Stop being stupid later in our relationship, 3 years in. She told me she is going to go to Florida with her friends to party and see concerts as uneasy as I felt about this. I did my best not to come off jealous. She promised to text me to make things easier for me, and all. And, well, she told me she was going to see Tio. I was talking to my friends about. It turns out Tio was in Europe. When she came back, I started confronting her with the inconsistencies, and she started lying her ass off. Though she never admitted to cheating, she started doing nice things for me. To get me back at this point, I was thinking her and move on, but I decided to milk it for what it was worth. I used the whole cheating thing to have her on greater behavior. To add to that, I used it to get a threesome. After that, I felt much less bitter, but I couldn't ever see myself getting married to a girl that cheated on me. She was a good girlfriend, but I couldn't risk getting divorced from her later down the road, and she takes all my money. And since she still never admitted to cheating on me directly, I didn't feel obligated to tell her that I wasn't interested in getting married by now. We have been together for 5 years. I was 31 and she was 30. Her biological clock was ticking hard. Her parents at this point pretty much gave up on her getting married, and her younger sister was already married and popped out her first kid. We got into a big fight one day, and I yelled at her to admit that she cheated, and she finally did. After all that time, I don't know why, but a huge weight just lifted off my heart that I had won. And then I told her that we are over. Since then, she has been begging me to reconsider, for her reality hit her hard when it comes to traditional Indian marriages. A woman past 25 or 27, no one is really interested in, and sadly for her, the effects of aging were already getting to her. Plus, she was planning to lie to her future spouse about her sleeping around, so I don't really feel bad for her anyways. It's not that she can't still land a guy, she can still find a decent guy now. But the idea of marrying a rich dude that will treat her like a virginal princess is over for her. Her life of not having to move a finger is gone now. That's what you get for cheating. What the hell is this op? The only thing that I'm thinking right now is, why the hell did you waste all of this time? Why are you still here? Talk about cutting off your own nose just to spite someone else's face. You wasted years of your own life just to get back at this woman. I hope the shitty threesome that you got out of this is worth 2 years of your life. But this is not pro-revenge. Petty revenge at most. And now for today's second story. My family, who hate me to the point of excommunication, contacted me out of the blue. What should I do? Posted by Reddit user SE Lengthiness. Please don't bash my grammar. English isn't my first language, and I'm still learning. When I was a 6-year-old old girl, my parents had another child, who we shall call Emma. Emma is a smart, disciplined, and very kind person. She's my family's favorite. I come from a very rich and known family in China. We have several companies and properties, so that's why everything she wants is always given, while I had to do extra chores just to get extra allowance. When I was 14, I was given a red pocket, and Emma also got one when we opened it. Emma received a bunch of red bills. If I remember correctly, she got 12 red bills. signifying they want her to have a prosperous new year and hope that money will never be a problem for her. While I got only 6 red bills, I cried saying it's not fair as punishment for my tantrums. My parents took my red pocket and told me to go to my room. I remember being comforted by Emma, and she even offered to split it in half, but I declined and told her to leave. It's been that way since every Chinese New Year. Emma always received 12 items, such as gold money, and even receiving blessings and praises from the elders, while I, the eldest, always got smaller amounts, and as I grow older I received a smaller amount due to their excuse that I'm getting old anyways. 2 years ago for the Chinese New Year, my family went all out for the Chinese New Year, even as far as to give all the employees a red pocket that is very thick when my grandfather started giving every grandchild their red pocket. Everyone but my sister got one. It was suspicious, but I didn't care. My grandfather called for Emma and told her to take this. He handed her an envelope, and when she read the contents of the envelope, she started celebrating. Turns out she received 12% of one of the companies my family owned. I was mad. It was not fair for context. In order for me to receive extra money for my school, I started working at the company. I learned everything that needed to be learned. I started projects that benefited the company. I did everything to boost the sales. Yet all my efforts were not rewarded. Instead, they gave Emma the rewards I deserved. I saw red that day. I lashed out at everyone, questioning why I didn't receive the shares, that it was not fair and Emma did deserve the shafa. My emotional outburst was met with criticism. My father got up and slapped me, told me I was an ungrateful child, and screamed at me to get out of his house, as he does not want an ungrateful child to stay at his house anymore. So I left. I didn't even peek. I just left and drove off. 2 years had passed. And I moved to another country. I didn't contact any of them, nor did they contact me. I didn't bother to find out what happened after I left. All I know is they basically disowned me. It was ridiculous to disown me, just because I lashed out at them anyway. On February 2nd, my father emailed me asking for my attendance for the Chinese New Year at their house. When I read the email, I cried. There was nothing else, just asking for my attendance. Not even telling me they were sorry. I had a mental breakdown that day, and even took a 2-day leave at the company I currently work for. I didn't respond. And now 3 weeks later, I received another email asking me to visit China to spend time with them, even offering me to pay for my tickets and allowance. I'm hesitant to reply, but I want to go back to China and spend time with my gong gong. Should I go back? Edit for explanation. My family is very strict, so my emotional outburst was seen as a defiance question. How would you know that they hated you? Answer: my father fired me after I left and banned me from stepping foot at the mansion and the companies we owned. I was also not allowed to visit any properties. My mother told her friends that she wished she never gave birth to such a defiant child. I cried at her words because how could a mother wish her child did not exist? My brother blocked me on his social media account, but I saw his final post before blocking me. It said to not contact me. She is not our family anymore. We have no more ties with her. Emma was also mad because she thinks I look down at her. My aunts, uncles, and cousins decided to not talk to me, so basically I was excommunicated. Minor update. I responded at the email and sent them this following question and message. Why did you contact me? What is your purpose for contacting? How are you and the family? That's all I asked. I will give an update if they contact me again. Edit 2. Hello everyone, here is a mini update regarding the email. My father responded to my email saying he contacted me because he missed me, and he was apologetic for how he treated me and wanted to, laughter, reconcile. I sent another email with a link to a video call and told them to call me at 2 p.m. Chinese time. In the call were my mother, father, brother, Emma, and my grandparents. From the paternal side, we gave each other basic greetings and talked about what was happening in China and my life here. But I got tired of small talk, so I started asking why my efforts were never rewarded and why they were always strict with me. And I got an answer in our culture that being born in the year of the dragon was a lucky thing. It means you will be blessed and always dominate whatever field you work in. Emma was born in the year 2000, so that's why my paternal family saw it as an auspicious blessing and decided Emma should be around the company more, as she may bring more blessings. It basically explained why she always receives 12 items, while I only get what they give me. I never fully hated Emma, but I admit that there is a feeling that will sometimes arise when I feel that they prioritize her again. As for me, it was not planned. Back then, my parents only wanted a single child, a boy. I was born 3 years after my brother, and although they cared for me, my parents had a hard time loving me. As they saw me as an extra child, I asked them why they had Emma, and they answered that Emma was going to bring blessings, too.
Our family and I broke down and screamed that it was not fair that I was their child, too. My mother and father broke down, saying they were sorry, and if they could turn back time, they would love me more. They said it broke their hearts to see one of their children grow, without them overseeing my progress. They regretted not being at my piano recital and not being there when I graduated from high school. I cried, saying it's not fair that I didn't get a happy childhood, and basically at that point everyone started crying. I asked, why did they not reward my efforts at the company, and my grandfather admitted that his views were outdated and he did not want me to get any position at the company. But he apologized, saying he broke my heart with his actions and told me if I move back there, he'll give me the position of director. I know what you are thinking, the company is going down, that's why they want me back. But nope, the company is still strong and provides a stable income. The call lasted for 1 hour, and basically we talked about the family, how my life here is. I even told them that I went to the Taylor Swift concert at Australia. My parents was happy that I was happy, so they offered to buy me floor tickets at Taylor's concert at Singapore. My mom told me that Gong Gong misses me, and to come visit him in Shanghai. She even told me she'd pay for my tickets and hotel just to visit them. I accepted the offer. I know how I could just forgive them like that, but honestly, I miss my family, especially Gong Gong, so I'll be flying back at the end of February, so I'll give an update once I get back. And now for OP's update. Hello everyone, thank you for patiently waiting for an update. So here is what happened. I met up with my family at a hotel in Gwangju, and we had a heartfelt talk. I tried not to speak with my parents and siblings, but they kept asking me things about my life abroad and what I work, as my aunt may have seen my discomfort. So she told them to let me eat first. I admit it was quite awkward, since to me, the pain of rejection and betrayal is still fresh. When we were done eating, we started having a conversation. My aunt encouraged me to speak my heart out and tell all the wrongdoings that were done to me after I was done. I was tearing up. Luckily, we were in a private room, so I cried my heart out that night. My cousins comforted me and fed me mooncakes. The night ended with all of us crying overall. We had a slight
Reconciliation. They asked if I wanted to go back home, but I declined, saying I had a plane to catch up to. They were shocked, thinking I'm already going back abroad, but I said I was just visiting Gong Gong. My mother told me to postpone the flight so our entire family could visit Gong Gong. I agreed, so I cancelled my flight. I booked a hotel, as I didn't want to be back in the place where I was humiliated and betrayed. I spent my remaining time with Gong Gong, which was 2 weeks, but during our tea he gave me a folder and told me to open it. And I got the surprise of my life. It was a legal document that contains half of the company my Gong Gong owned. He told me that life keeps screwing me over. It's not accurate, but it's what I interpreted it as, he told me. I deserve all the success I achieved, and he is giving me full control of the compy he owns once he passes. Or when I'm ready, I cried, and my family was happy for me, and overall I finally felt that I needed and appreciated anyways. The entire trip was too long for me to share everything that happened, so I'm only writing the important events. Thank you for all your support and kind messages. It helped me see the bigger picture and guided me to make the right path. Let me guess. Their two golden children turned out to be complete fuck-ups, so they turned to you to inherit the company look. OP, I'm Asian too. I was born and raised in Asia. I know how this works. I'm worried about you, actually. Either the family knows that you are inheriting half of all the businesses, and that's why they are being nice all of a sudden. After all of these years or worse, you are being given a bad business with lots of debt. Please go check with a lawyer or a private investigator. You know what? I wouldn't even be surprised if they start introducing eligible bachelors to you and encourage you to have children as soon as possible and step down as soon as possible. Please listen to this advice from your creepy Uncle Patson as an older Asian man. I'm passing on this wisdom to you in your circumstances. Please take everything they have to say with a grain of salt. Good luck to you.